Hey, what's up everybody? So this is going to be a Yuris Revenge game on one of the classic Yuris Revenge maps of all time, Tour of Egypt, or some call it Toe, because they're in the cult. But these are not occult players, these are just regular players. And by the way, when the Exodus was starting to go dead with Yuris Revenge, the one time I actually felt like I wanted to cry, because, this was my favorite game for like years. But like the only really thing that made me happy about Exodus going dead is that Tour of Egypt players are not gonna be able to play anymore, because those people are psychos. They're like some kind of freakish religion, the occult. So that's the only thing that I enjoyed about Exodus going dead, kind of, because it's I'm talking about the 3 versus 3 players, not the 1 versus 1 players on this map, because 1 versus 1 is just a for fun game. But 3 versus 3, you had to do exactly what they want. You had to be Korea, Great Britain, or Iraq in the same spot and do the same exact thing, same rules for over 12 years. And now they're starting to come back, where I'm just kind of trying to avoid those people for as long as possible. And you see he's doing IFV defense on Tour of Egypt. Now this thing, when they harass with the IVs like that, you're usually not gonna kill a Rhino tank. But you can damage it, like to almost kill it. I mean, I rarely see a Rhino tank dying to that. But usually they do it with 3 IVs. I see he's actually starting to mix some grids in. And I don't know why the Soviet is afraid of that. Because the Soviet... Oh, Rival is on the left, not the right. Rival makes all IFV, so. Oh, he got his guy out there in time. Now he's desert bombing. And see, that's a tactic that counters his IFVs, is a desolator bomb. And so this is gonna like not last too long if this Soviet finishes them off. So, I mean, he did okay with the pillboxes, but the fact that, he lost his IVs to the Desolators. How many miners does he lose? He only has 2 miners left. He should have like 4 or 5 by now. So I think he lost 2. About 2. And yeah, Soviet's gonna kill him. He's not gonna be able to keep up with 2 miners for more than a minute. Okay, so you gotta be prepared. I think you gotta make some dogs. You gotta have the defense bulletproof. You can't just like screw around like that and expect to win. But this is a strong player, don't forget though. But I actually lost versus the same player in the same way a couple times, so I can't really, say it's easy to beat this guy. The reason why I would lose is because if I think I got a defense and then he counters it by using a terror, you counter it with terror drones, or you could counter it with desolator bombs like he did this game. So Soviet's going to win this one.
Player defeated.
Hey, what's up? So this is going to be another Yuris Revenge game, and this time Bronznova is a classic Yuris Revenge player. He's actually one of the guys that invented this. I'm pretty sure he invented this Great Britain tactic. He also does it with Korea too. Korea or Great Britain are very good. I think Korea's like more well-rounded because of the fact that they could shoot at anything, not just at infantry like Britain does with their special. Because Great Britain's special is sniper infantry, and snipers only shoot infantry. But the thing is, I kind of think that Great Britain might be a little bit better overall because of the fact that The Allies can make infantry and basically dominate the infantry, and you're going to have all tanks versus infantry and tanks if you do the Great Britain strategy right. So Great Britain might even be better than Korea, but it's really hard to say for sure. And of course USA is actually in the picture too because of the paratrops. But you know, this is kind of like a special type of tactic where Great Britain can be very useful. And I actually seen this LA player, this Bronze Nova, sometimes he makes more miners after he gets the first 3 IFVs. Okay, so see, Purple's got those terror drones. That is a good way to counter, but after you start seeing this engineer IFVs, then you gotta stop it with this terror drones. He should have attacked right away, but maybe he shouldn't have because of those pillboxes. But now what you gotta do is you gotta kill this engineer IFVs, and then you could get this drones in. I don't know, but I think 4 terror drones is too much. Can't kill anything with them right now. You just keep pumping the Rhino tanks. He's got 2 Warfighters, so I mean there is a good chance that he could out tank the Allied player, and the fact that before he gets the battle lab up and he's on 1 factory, he could really start pressuring, but he really can't pressure up too hard with his terror drones. I mean, he's supposed to kill the IFVs with them, but then he didn't attack right away, and then he gave Orange a chance to get his engineer IFVs. And then, at least he's smart enough not to attack the IFVs with the... I mean, attack the IFVs with the engineers inside him. If he did that, then he would need to fix his strategy. So anyway, that battle fortress is tough, and it's got snipers inside. Sometimes I've seen Great Britain players make a Navy SEAL even though he has snipers. Sometimes even a Tanya. But I just like making snipers if I have snipers instead. Because snipers can't kill like 4 or 5 Desolators all at once like a SEAL can potentially do. But they're actually better overall because let's see this. He should have never tried to use his drones. He should have saved them. If you get ahead on terror drones, you save them. That's what I do. I save them. And remember, on this map, he's trying not to get spied because he has a war factory in the upper part of the map. He's got to keep his eyes open for spies. Oh, there's one. Huh, what do you know? See that dog? That dog is a... How do you disguise as a dog if you're a spy? That's what I don't understand. He's probably gonna waypoint over and try to spy him. I don't know where the spy's going. Maybe toward the top pyramid? And usually they try to distract him. When you spy, you gotta try to distract them. Oh, there, he's going to the bottom. Oh, he's screwed. Technology stolen. It's gonna be hard now. You notice that Orange has... He's gotta attack right away, but oh, right into that prism tower. That's really running into a strong point. Okay, Purple is screwing up. You do not want to run into its whole army with the prism tower right protecting all of them and the GI in the top. Should have waited for the Iron Curtain. And I noticed that sometimes when they play Great Britain, they don't make planes like they do with Korea, or even any planes at all. So perhaps, you know, making a battle lab would be a good idea for Soviet. Because Soviet would not get his lab shot down. Oh, there it is. He's making a battle lab right now. So he's starting to kind of realize what he needs to do after. But he made some big mistakes. So I mean, big mistakes by kind of running into that prism tower. So I don't know if the Soviet could catch up or not. But he should try as hard as he can. he is out tanked. He has less units for sure. At least make some sentry guns. Yeah, there's no way he could stop that. There's no way. So Orange won the game. I think, you know, when you're playing a really good player like Orange, you actually do stupid stuff that you want to do versus a regular player. And not to mention the spies. Like when he ran right ahead into all his base defenses, I don't think he would have done it if he was playing against, you know, the guy from the last game where it was that is around the same skill level. You gotta kind of not panic and try to do something normal that could win you the game, not just, you know, charge forward. Just charge forward and, you know, get your rhino tanks blown up. But out of that spy, I mean, it really sucks because even if he was playing well, if he was playing fantastic, he might have still lost the game because of that spy. So, the hell. But remember, you can still melt the veteran Mirage tanks, even though they have a little more armor. It's a good game. Hey, what's up everyone? This is going to be another Yuris Revenge game. Okay, this is going to be on tour of Egypt. And it's Korea versus Iraq. Oh, it's Honda versus Blaze. Okay, so this is one of the guys that watches my YouTube channel, so he wanted to be in one of the videos to say what am I doing right, what am I doing wrong. Okay, so Honda is the orange player. So see how the Soviet player stretches with power plants or refineries toward the second ore? That's something you need to do. Because I've seen this Honda player using the barracks to stretch, which is not good unless he wants to barricade the center with infantry. It's pointless. So there, he's actually doing it right this game. That second power plant is a little early. You don't really you're supposed to make them until you need it, but that's actually okay. That's not too bad because you're gonna need it in a minute. So getting it early isn't really gonna hurt you. So that's not too bad. So, oh, he actually clicked in the wrong spot. I think he could have had that rhino tank. And now don't go close to them. If the rhino tanks start driving towards you, get away from him. Don't fight him. But he actually almost killed that rhino tank, but he damaged it. Damaging the rhino tank is really good, actually. It actually makes a big difference when you get into a fight. So him damaging that rhino tank is actually good. You need like 3 miners on those gem patches. 4 is okay, but 5's too much, I think. So 2 or 3 is okay. 2 to 4 is actually okay. Under gem patches, see the Soviet has to make sure that his miners don't run away. And he's actually. And if they do run away, I'm in observer mode, so I'm not going to help him. I'm not going to say anything. I was about to. The only time where you help a player is if you're training them, and like coaching is on in observer mode. So this time his coaching isn't on, and I'm like, okay. But I'm looking at his army. I was thinking about telling him, but I was like, that'd be kind of cheating unless they're cool with it. But the thing is, here we go. IFVs are hard. It's hard to kill miners with IFVs. So what I would do is try to kill one. Try to kill one. and then run back to the base because IFVs are fast. They could kill him and run, but then he didn't do that. He just realizes, you know, I don't want to get my whole base blown up. So he was more worried about his whole base getting blown up. And that's kind of understandable, but I would have tried to pop that one miner, and even if and trying to get two would be too hard to do. Look at this. Korea's gonna shoot at that. Oh, holy crap, that's a lot of conscripts dying. He's trying to Ivan bomb him. That's actually hard to do against Korea, because one plane can kill the flag truck. And when I do stuff like that with the Desolator or Ivan, sometimes I make, versus the Korea, I make multiple flag trucks so he can't guess which one is the right flag truck. And see how Boo's building? He's building okay, but he should have like 3 miners on each patch in the back. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, about 6 miners in the bottom left patch. That's too much. Sorry, no. Was those conscript bombs, or was it the crazy? Oh, that was the crazy Ivan, I think. Crazy Ivan, you know, is good. He can't blow up the MCV like the Seals can. So okay, so this Honda player, he actually has a decent sized army right now. I mean, he's got the IVs, he's got the Mirage. His army's not too bad right now. He can't. It's a little bit hard for him to go onto the attack, because IFVs really can't chase down Rhino tanks that well, and also, you know, sentry guns and Desolators could defend, but once he gets his battle fortress going, he could get an attack going. Now he might be able to attack since he's got the battle fortress. I don't know if he's strong enough to kill him yet, but he could definitely attack. Oh, so actually, that was a small mistake. He went a little bit too forward. Oh, that was a big mistake. And I actually was thinking that he might lose the game right here. I think he might have lost the game right there. He lost a lot of Mirage and they got desolated. But the fact is that the Mirage tanks, and he had the IFVs in his Mirage tank, and it's just that they're so strong when they're defending, and the Soviet was trying to make a play, and Soviet actually screwed up. He lost the battle forces, but then, you know, his unit composition really messed him up. But look at the Soviet. He's got a lot of war factories. The only thing that the Soviet is really screwing up with the way he's mining his ore. Let's see if he's fixed it yet. But he's got 4 miners in 1 patch. Okay, he's doing... Yeah, his money would be a little bit better if he had, you know... You gotta put refineries closer to ore, so he's not doing too bad actually, but you could do it a little bit better. And the orange player should be stretching toward that hill right now. Starting to, at least. Sometimes he gets into a long game on this map. If it gets into a long game, then you might fight over one of the 2 of the ore patches. And those engineer IFVs are good to keep the battle forces safe. And from terror drones. Okay, here's one important thing about what Orange is doing that the Soviets not doing. That ore purifier is going to make the Orange player have more money. Bottom line. The Soviet player needs an industrial plant, or he's gonna... He's to cut his production cost. He's got to cut his production cost with the industrial plant or a superweb, but it's hard to do it versus Korea. How many planes does he have? I haven't checked. And I noticed this sometimes this Korea player, he leaves his planes inactive. He should always be shooting at stuff, especially if the air defense is not really big. He's got 1 jet. I mean, should be fire. Just put a hotkey 5 on it, just keep clicking 5 click, 5 click, 5 click. And sometimes I count to 11 seconds after the thing lands. And count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. But you gotta count kind of slow because it has to be in seconds. I think it takes about 11 seconds, but that's actually 11 seconds of me counting at the same speed, not the actual time. I don't know. So anyway, here we go. So I seen this Honda player do this before not Honda, the Soviet player do that. And he put he screwed that up. He thought it was a pillbox. Sometimes you lose track of things. I think I might have done that before. Made the mistake, like out of hundreds of games, I've made the same mistake in my lifetime. But I've done the same mistake for a different reason. But it seems like mistake. The reason I made a mistake is because I figured he won't be able to attack it or something, and then I put it in the front, and then boom, boom. You know, it's just put the super weapon somewhere safe. Now he's starting to use his jets more. Which he should. I know when they start base rocking like that, you could start making prism tanks to counter. And you could actually make some of your own base defenses. Uh-oh. So the thing is, Sobi's base walker, but he really doesn't have... He's running low on cash, so he really can't keep going like that. Oh, nice corner. That was a really nice chronosphere. Crap, that might win him the damn game. It's hard for him to get over there because there's Desolators, but now the Desolator's dead. Oh man, he lost all those Rhino tanks. Now it's going to really be hard for him to stop his Mirage tanks. And the Battle Fortress. He's got to fix his rally point. I mean, you got to be able to move fast enough to change your rally point in the middle of the game. Now, sometimes, you know, your minus get ran down like that. Happens once in a while to any allied. Now, try to not lose too many miners. You got to run up that hill as fast as possible. And you got to remember, when you're beaming the miner back, you can't rely on the refinery because of the fact that if another miner has to dump ore, two miners can't dump ore at the same time. So you got to rely on your army to save your chrono miners. Don't rely on the chrono ability. It's not a 100% safeguard. It's not a 100% guarantee that's going to save your miner when you beam them back from their being attacked. But what you got to do is have like 2 refineries. That's why I like to have 2 refineries in the early game. When some people like to only have 1 on 4. When I have 4 miners, I have 2 refineries. Because if I got to beam one back, I beam it to the refinery that's not dumping the ore, or it's a little bit farther away from the ore, or less likely to dump the ore. Or if I see one dumping, I just beam it to the other refinery right away. So that's something that the orange player could learn, like to try to use your army first and use the refineries at the same time, but make sure you. There's one refinery with like 3 miners dumping. You better try the other one. No. It's actually really hard for Sylvie to walk up and get Desas in like that. This is a seal in the Battle Fortress. He shouldn't really even try to do that. I mean, it looked like that. And he's not even trying to make a battle lab. Like, it's actually a smart idea not to try to make a battle lab. But at the same time, you know, you gotta try to make a battle lab barrier. It's not smart, so it's kind of like you're darned if you do, darned if you don't. But the Soviet player has got to get his army built up, not like run in and lose his army. He's got to get his army built up, but now his army's he's practically dead now. The Soviet player needs to do more splits. I mean, Orange kind of won. He won because his unit composition is good. It was his IFVs are really strong defenses, combined with his Mirage tanks. And even though he made some mistakes early, you know, the mistakes weren't big enough for him to, you know, really hurt him bad enough, you know. So Orange is going to win this game. And the Blue did okay. You know, he could fix the way he mines his ore, but